Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. And hasn't it been a hell of a week? I mean, honestly, you saw my little video yesterday. On Monday, I thought it was Sunday and didn't upload. On Tuesday, I didn't upload because I passed out exhausted finally. Managed to upload on Wednesday. On Thursday, I deleted the footage like an idiot. And on, today I'm finally recording at 11 o'clock at night because I've been waiting for the house to make sure it'd be quiet. And then I got involved in doing some stuff. Oh, pardon me a moment. I'm drinking Diet Coke and yeah, anyways. Oh, excuse me. And then I swallow raw. Perfect, we're off to a roaring start. No, but seriously. So it hasn't been the best of weeks for me. And today, really not much better. It's Friday, which means it's my wife's doctor's appointment. I'm up till 4:30 in the morning, don't fall asleep till 5. Up at 8 and out the door to be at an appointment by 9:15. And then I got home. We got home around 1 o'clock. I stayed up till 2, slept till 5, a little after 5, and I've been up since. With luck, I'll pass out early. With no luck, I won't, and I don't know what's going to happen. But, hey, I said I'm going to keep recording, and I mean it. I'm going to try and get up through the weekends. But at the very least, we are finishing this run today. So, let's get that going, shall we? So, a couple things I find a little displeasing right now, but, they're going to be settled in time. Number one, I thought I had fully paid off my Visa card that I was supposed to be using for emergencies. What sucks, though, is what I did not know is that there's a $75 annual fee, and that gets charged to the card. So I actually owe $75, but that's all I owe. Everything that I used got paid, so that's okay. I'll just try and pay that off as much as I can. Sorry, dude, I need to take up your lane. My apologies. Even then, I still clip the sidewalk. That's not a big deal. And the other thing that happened is on my MasterCard, my minimum payment, my card is maxed out there, but that's on purpose. Max it out and pay it, max it out and pay it, and that actually helps build my credit. I'm probably going to fuel up here. So rather than pay the minimum, 25, I paid 100. But even though I went and looked, the $100 had been received, but it hasn't changed my balance. My balance is still only $5. You know what? For the sake of this trailer, we're pulling in this way. Sorry, dude. But for the sake of the trailer, we are pulling in this way. And we're in Africa too. Look at those gas prices, man. Wow, I think the game actually froze there for a minute. Hang on just a sec. Yeah, it really looked like the game just froze there for whatever reason. But everything else looks okay right now, so we're all good. I don't see anything coming from the back. Yeah, so I just reset the recording and everything looks okay now. But 10 cents a gallon. Oh, I'm not shifting gears. Yeah, we're going to be down in at least second. Oh no, fourth. Wow. That big 750 pulling that up that hill. Wow. That's amazing. That was amazing. Yeah, so anyways, they received my payment, but hasn't changed my balance. Now, that could be just because it hasn't actually hit my account yet, but it says it's been posted. So I'm not sure what's going on. So I sent them a message because it's not a priority thing right now. I sent them a message asking, hey, you know, it says you received my payment, that it's posted, not pending. But I don't have any change on my balance. On my available credit. My balance has changed. My balance says I owe $395, which is great, but my available credit still says $5. So I'm curious as to what's going on, why my available credit is still only $5, but my balance says it should be $105. So we'll have to see what happens there. I actually tried to get a cell phone today, and I was approved. I was going to get an Android 5. Nothing against people who like Apple. I just don't like iPhones. I much prefer Android phones. Even though I haven't had a cell phone in forever, I just prefer, you know, like Samsung and LG and whatnot. So I was going to go with that. But I was just doing it at Costco. It's just kind of a spur moment thought, you know, it's about time that I get a goddamn cell phone. And, well, unfortunately Costco only takes American Express, and my credit cards are Visa and MasterCard only. My American Express card is more of a debit card. So I'm none too happy right now that I couldn't do that, but, you know, all in good time, things will come together, and I'm going to get a cell phone, I think. I really do believe I'm going to get a cell phone. How fast are we going? Too fast. That's how fast. So then just... How many episodes are we at now? Like 80? 80 something? And I'm still turning the lights off instead of engaging the cruise control. My allergies have been really acting up lately, especially because the weather's been like rain, 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 sun, rain, 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 sun, rain, 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 rain. So the pollen and dust and whatever allergens are really driving me up a fucking wall right now. I'm having a harder time breathe because my nose is constantly clogged. And sadly, the allergy medicine I have really doesn't work. You know, that's the drawback to, you know, oh look, allergy medicine for 99 cents. Yeah, that was really smart, dude. That was real smart. But, you know, whatever. Oh, and a topic I want to address, alright? Now, again, I forgot to get your username, and I would have to stop the video and Alt-Tab to get it right now. I forgot to write it down previously. But you know who you are that said that I'm not stupid for uploading, but what I am stupid for, and I know you were joking, okay? I'm not mad. I'm just going to address it, though. I'm not upset, I promise you. I'm stupid for not using American trucks. Okay, dude. I understand. Believe me. I actually love American trucks and the way they sound. Yeah, Kenworth, Peterbilt, even Freightliner. Freightliner actually for a long time was one of my favorites. But here's the thing. Since I started watching Top Gear and started playing Euro Truck, I've gotten a greater and greater appreciation for European If we're that close to the end, then I'm just going to pick up the next load and go. Seriously. The video's not going to be that short. Yeah, we are that close to the end. Wow, I didn't think it would be that quick. So we'll just pick up the next trailer and keep going. Yeah, so when I'm super not using mid trucks, I really do, especially, you know, where I live at the bottom of a steep hill. There's still a lot of construction going on down here, so a lot of trucks come down here with heavy machinery, and they're coming down this really incredibly steep hill in like first gear, and you hear that Jake brake, you hear that big diesel, you know, supplying the brake power, and it's really awesome. But you know, let me just be honest with you here. I don't like the nose of American trucks. I have always been and always will be a fan of cab-over trucks, which sadly, despite all the advances, the United States has never truly gone with. You know, I guess they did it for a while early on, and the thing is that the cabs were much more cramped, they were much more uncomfortable, loud, heat, you know, when trucks weren't all that great in terms of comfort for long haul. And even though times have changed, and technology, which you have proof here in Volvo, Scania, and all the European trucks, the United States has never actually tried to go with cab-overs. And there's no telling about how it, you know, well it would be received. Really? I wasn't turning that sharply, dude. Okay? I seriously wasn't. I mean, I did turn too sharp. I acknowledge that. Just not that sharp. I was a little too into talking to remember that I was hauling an incredibly long trailer. But yeah, cab-overs, they're easier to, you have a much better view of the road in front of you. You don't have that big nose blocking, so they're much easier to spot lines with and to keep tracks with and to see cars with. And I just think that, you know, overall that makes them better. You know, I'm not, you know, it's all personal preference in truth. It really is personal preference. So I'm just saying, in my personal preference, I prefer cab-overs. You know, for the longest time, or not for the longest time, for as long as I was playing and the mod worked, I was actually driving a Kenworth K100. Yeah, we're gonna have to straighten this out because it's not gonna do so in time. Kenworth K100 mod, which is the cab over Kenworth. I think it was Kenworth. It might have been Peterbilt, but I think it was Kenworth. But it could have been the Peterbilt. I don't know. I can't remember. And I know that mod's back out there, but I tend to be loyal to the trucks. You know, for this parking lot, though, for me to do this in about 3 attempts is actually pretty good. And I said about 3 because I don't know if this will actually land on the 3rd try. Yep, we did. So we don't get a rank up that time, but that's fine. We can, oops, lights off. Axle, I think, is down. So we want to... Oh no, axle is up. Oops, axle was supposed to be down. Not sure where I picked it up and forgot, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. So I tend to be loyal to European trucks now. Just because I really like them. But don't fret. I will be driving American trucks when American Truck Simulator comes out. When that happens, I'll be driving American trucks, because there will be American trucks in the game, obviously. And one of the problems I have with some mods, and actually I need to update some of the mods that I do have. I'm just being lazy about it. But the problem with some of the mods is as the game updates, the mods become out of date. And you can actually lose or ruin the data that you have that you've been playing. I've had that happen. And I'd rather it not happen again. Hey, DAF dealership. How much money we have? We have 22,000. That is sweet. Or 2,200,000, but whatever. So, we want to repair our truck. And then something I want to do before I rest is truck dealers. DAF. And I want the DAF that's here. And we're actually going to go to the dealership because it's here. Oh wow. They changed the dealerships, didn't they? There's the DAF. That, I think that's the Big Daddy. Oh, there's 510, which I think is the most powerful DAF engine. How much is this? 47,000 if I trade in. 194 if I buy it straight out. I don't want to trade in. I really don't. One more run. One more run. Alright. So actually we need to rest. Oh, apparently it stopped raining. And became daytime while we visited the dealership. Cool. But we still gotta rest. I like to be fully rested before I start. So, here. Boy, not the greatest selection in the world, huh? That's all road driving. Sadly, I can't zoom in, but it actually looks like it goes over a fun part of the road. But it's a tiny trailer. I may take it anyways. That goes up here in an area that we've been, if not necessarily a town that we've been to. Because we need to deliver spaghetti. Look, cows. But I don't like to go back across the same road that we've traveled, you know? I really don't like that. I mean, we might have traveled this road already completely, I'm not sure, but I don't want to just go right back over the same road that we've been running. Boat. Well, that is different. We go to here and then to here, which I don't think we've been. No, we haven't. No, we're here. We haven't been there, so that would be... Yeah, but it's only 27,000. I'm pretty sure it's obvious which one we are going to go with. And that's the itty bitty trailer. You know, it would be a nice change, if I'm to be honest with you. We don't have to put the mid-axle down. We don't need the lights. We don't have to worry about swinging... Boy, the pickup's 35 kilometers away, really? Whatever. We're just gonna go. Like I said. Oh, hi. Fortunately, you're turning. I tend to run a little faster when not running a trailer. Whoa! Power sliding. Awesome. Okay, frame rate. I'm supposed to be in this lane. You can quit playing now. Yeah. I know you're gonna be a little low in this area, but you don't have to be that low. I also tend to drive a lot worse when I'm not running a trailer, which, if you think about it, is a really scary thought. Yeah. And that looks like our destination right there. FedEx. There we are. Bang. Oh, they get the cows in the boat. The other two jobs I was considering. This is one of those ones, the trailer's in the back. I don't know why I did that back. Whatever. Oh, and it's on the inside. Lovely. Not a big deal, though, obviously. Yeah, we're definitely going to be overpowered for this run. This tiny little trailer. I mean, what do we've got? 11 tons? Yeah. Not the lightest we've towed. I'm pretty sure the lightest we've towed is 9 tons. But we have a smaller engine than 2. And this is almost going to be like running empty. So I got to be careful. But it's also really great that it's a small trailer. So I won't have to worry about finagling tight corners and all that. Thank you. See, like in a situation like this, I don't have to worry that my trailer is going to turn too tight towards the car. And that's a really nice change. I kind of love this roundabout thing you have to do to get on the highway. Come on, mate. I forget what I was talking about earlier, but it's okay. Let's see, then you gotta turn here. And then turn here. Oh, we're just gonna go through. I was pretty sure we were okay. Look at this circle. This is not a very well thought out town or city. It's really not. Look at this. Look at all that we gotta go through. Whoa, 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 whoa. I forgot. Power slide. Up on the sidewalk. It's actually easier than backing up. Oops, sorry. Sorry. Pardon me. It was just a stop sign. Like I said, light trailer. I'm really going to have to try and check myself, and it didn't work. Okay, frame rate. Enough fun. You were doing good all run until now. So please start behaving. Yeah, it's a little better. We'll see if it stays better. No, it doesn't. It should fix itself at some point, I would think. So I actually got a little PvP action in EVE today, EVE Online. I was out doing some stuff in sites, you know, working on making ISK and whatnot. And I'd be damned if these three guys in Vexers, which are tier 1 drone boat cruisers, don't come through our system. Or come through the system I'm in, and they're headed inward to our home system. So me and these two other guys decide, you know what, we can take on these Vexers. And so we go, and, one guy ships up into a battle cruiser known as a Cyclone. I race back in my Gila, which I don't want a PvP. I don't have fit for PvP. And at first I get into my Harbinger Navy issue battle cruiser. And our other guy gets into a thorax, which is just a standard T1 cruiser, but has a good amount of, it can do a good amount of DPS for a tier 1 cruiser. It can actually pack quite a punch. Yay. Confun it. So that is really, really cool that, you know, that we shipped up, and it was going to be 3 on 3. I don't know why I'm having trouble staying. I guess I always kind of have trouble staying in the lines. It's not easy talking and playing a video game, even one like this, all the time. It actually can be quite a pain in the butt once in a while. But anyways, my Harbinger is a laser boat, and the Cyclone is a missile boat. And the Thorax uses hybrid weapons, railguns or blasters. I don't know which one it was fit with. I think it was fit with railguns. And we wait for these guys on the gate, and they land in a bubble, and I was like, damn it, I knew it. I knew we should have warped to the gate and then warped and been in the bubble, and these guys would have landed. We could have tackled them and fought right there. But it didn't happen, and they kind of farted around at a long distance from us. Well, we kind of kept them at range because our ships were made for more medium to close range encounters. We're more brawly, where their ships used drones and could have been, you know, kitey kind. So I decided, you know what, these guys are only sitting about 120, 130 off. I'm going to go and fetch one of my heavy snipers and see if I can alpha one off the field, meaning kill it in a single shot. And after seeing these guys' fits, I probably would have. But anyways, oh, I gotta make sure. Okay, it goes that way anyways. So anyways, I go to get my sniper, and these guys bounce to the gate, and they go to the next system. Now we're facing kind of a dilemma. They're still in that system. We have a scout in there, but if we're jumping into them, which means that we could be forced to engage at their range. And I dock up my ship trying to think of, well, heck, what ship should I bring? You know, I need something maybe that can engage mid-range, and I have this big old railguns Ferox that I was thinking of bringing. And I was like, oh, my Drake Navy issue, which would be funny because Drakes are kind of like the butt of jokes in EVE. They're one of the worst ships. They got nerfed so hard that, you know, you hardly ever see them anymore. But this is a Drake Navy issue, which is actually pretty decent. So I get in my Drake Navy issue, and I forgot that I had my Drake Navy issue fit for heavy assault missiles. Assault missiles do a lot of damage, but they have short range, so I could only hit out to 24 kilometers, rather than what I thought I'd have heavy missiles, which I could hit out like 70 plus. So I'm like, damn it, I don't know. And then I hear, oh, these guys are locking me up. And I'm like, oh, fight's starting. So I just, you know, screw it. I undock the Drake Navy issue thinking, this, you know, this is going to go poorly. This is just, you know, not going to do well. And I get to the gate, and the guy that was being locked up jumped back through. He's the guy in the Cyclone. And he says, oh, you know what? I'm going back through. And I'm like, all right, fine, let's do it. So the three of us, my Drake Navy, his Cyclone, and the guy in the Thorax, we all jump through. And we get in, and we see that these guys are using sentry drones in Vexors. Not a terrible idea, but definitely not the best, because they weren't using drones to the full potential. They could only launch like 4 of them instead of 5. So that in itself was a little weird. But not only that, they didn't exactly drop their sentries very far off. Sentry drones are made for long-distance engagements. They're made to hit things at range, and if things get under that range, even bigger ships like battle cruisers, the sentries tend to have a hard time hitting them and applying their damage. And that range tends to start somewhere under 30 kilometers for a lot of ships, sometimes further or less, depending on your skills. And we were only about 32 kilometers, which meant 3 more kilometers inward, these things would have a hard time hitting us, or would just at least do less damage when they do hit us. So we kind of sat there and scratched our heads at that a little bit. We're like, oh, well, they get drones out, let's go for it. So we decloak and start heading for them. And I get targeted first, and my shields aren't dropping that fast. I'm like, interesting. Because I am getting hit by 8. I don't know I don't know if they split their DPS, but I think I had at least 8 sentries hitting me, which I should have been taking a fair amount of damage. Well, interestingly enough, I wasn't. And it was after the fight that I realized why, which I'll tell you in a little bit. So I'm closing in, and I realize that there's already one that is like 12 kilometers from me. These guys dropping sentry drones, meaning to be long distance and kitey, are now within brawling range of 2 missile ships. Even if we had long distance missiles like heavy, it doesn't matter. That's the one real benefit of missiles. There's no fall off, and there's no getting under the gun. You can speed tank them, meaning that you can fly so fast that the missiles, when they do finally explode, you kind of run faster than the explosion does, and so you don't take as much damage. And you can actually take very little damage. And you can do the same for guns too. You can fly fast enough to where guns have a hard time tracking you, and they can't hit you very easily. But they were cruisers, we were battle cruisers, which means they were only one size down, which meant our missiles could apply good damage. And my heavy assault missiles, were made for closer range engagement. And the Cyclone, I think, was using Tech 2 heavies, just standard heavy missiles. But they were Tech 2, meaning they were doing a lot more damage. And this one dude is already, like, right next to us. So we grab him and we just rip right through him. And as soon as we're done with that, we realize that the other 2 guys are almost right on top of us as well. And it didn't take long for us to grab one and burn him down quickly, and then grab the final one and burn him down as well. Now, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. These guys were outgunned. In terms of close-up. Why they got close-up, I don't know. But when they did, and even when they realized their mistake, they stayed for the fight. They didn't try and just, one guy was tackled and the other 2 ran. No, they stayed to the last man, fought to the last man. I give them all the credit for that, man, because there's very few people in EVE that'll do that. There are very, very few people in EVE who will fight you. Excuse me. There are very, very few people in EVE that will fight you without trying to escape, if things are going bad. So that was really cool. What I don't understand is why they were using long-range drones but got within brawling range. What I don't understand more is why they got within brawling range of ships that were made to brawl, that were bigger, had bigger tanks, and made to do more damage. And what I really don't understand is the drones they were using were known as Wardens. Yes, their drones were Tech 2, but they're Warden drones. In EVE, much like a lot of damage, each race of drones does a different type of damage. So, the Minmatar drones do explosive, the Galante drones do thermal, the Amar drones do EM, and Caldari drones do kinetic, and Wardens are Caldari drones. Now, kinetic is actually known as one of the worst types of damage to use in PvP, because most ships have a natural tank versus kinetic. A lot of ships will have 40% natural tank versus kinetic. I have never personally run into a ship, and I own all types of ships, where you have to put something on the ship to tank up extra for kinetic in PvP. Only in PvE, like my ratting ships, because I'm tanking a lot of kinetic damage, I have to use, kinetic modules to get my kinetic resist up enough. But PvP, I've seen explosive rigs, I've seen thermal rigs, and I've seen EM rigs. And I've never seen kinetic, because most ships are naturally tanky versus kinetic. So it tends to be considered some of the worst damage to actually apply. Ooh, that's that's tight. It's a good thing it's a light trailer. So why these guys were using that to begin with seemed a little strange to me. I didn't understand. But what made it even stranger is that these guys were using kinetic damage, and I actually kind of hinted to this. No, actually I told you flat out if you caught it. Why these guys were using kinetic damage drones not only for PvP, but in an area where the rats do kinetic damage. Rats, the NPCs. When you go to sites and fight a bunch of NPCs, 99% of the damage they do is kinetic. So this means that you're going to be shooting at ships that are, if you were to catch a ratting ship, you're going to be shooting at it and its natural tank. I could have sat there in my battleship with these guys trying to nuke me out, which would have never happened because my battleship replenishes way too fast to be nuked. By 3 vexors at least. Believe me, I already know this. And they could have hammered at me all day and not even scratched my shields. So I don't know if these guys didn't know their enemies or what the case was. All I know is that I give them props for fighting and staying in the fight, but they made some questionable choices when they did fight. Getting within brawling range and using a damage type in an area where that's the main damage that's tanked against. Very strange. But at least errands are done today. I know that's like completely out of right field, but that's just how my mind works. Drifts to a completely new topic without a segue. I'm just glad that like all errands, all bills are done, everything's paid for. My wife and I went food shopping, and we actually varied up what we normally do. Normally what we do is we just go to Costco, buy a bunch of like chicken and pork and whatnot, and some potatoes and maybe some other stuff, and then that's what we eat. I'm going to be honest with you though, that hasn't been working for me. My weight was either steady or losing when I was eating in a more old-fashioned manner. Whereas now, the way I'm eating, I've actually gained a fair amount of weight. And that's because I either have potatoes or rice to go with what I eat. There's no other things that I can put with it. I've tried brown rice, but it just does not agree with my body. I've tried it, and oh man, no, just I got sick. And it's not that it was poorly prepared or anything, or bad batch or whatever. No, I just no. So I've got no other substitutes, and rice and potatoes is how I got from 265 to 400 pounds in a year. And I find myself doing kind of the same thing. Now, I kept my portions low most of the time, but every so often, dude, I'd have a potato at night. I'd load up on rice because it was, well, I didn't eat breakfast, I didn't eat lunch, so I'm just going to eat dinner, and I'm going to eat a big helping of it because I haven't eaten anything else. And so I'd have a huge amount of rice. And that's just not good. Been gaining weight. Now, the way that I have food now is the way that it's a little bit better for me. And it's just like bachelor food, kid food, Chef Boyardee. I've got 12 cans of Chef Boyardee. I've got chunky soup. I've got a couple other things that, everything's just already portioned out. And it's not healthy. It's not healthy. I know this. But it's pre-portioned. Once I'm done with what's there, that's it. I'm done. I won't eat anything else. And because of that, and because of my tendency to not eat very often, my weight would either slowly drop for a little while or would just maintain, which is not ideal, but is better than gaining. So that's kind of what I've gone back to. Although I did go to Costco and I bought we bought 2 more bags of chicken to go with the 3rd bag that we have. And we really didn't buy much else at Costco. I basically bought a sandwich. I forget what kind of bread it was on, but a sandwich, turkey sandwich with a Caesar side salad to bring home, and then a chicken bake for later. I know the chicken bake's not healthy, but so that was my lunch and my dinner. And I'm just trying to think of anything else. I know I bought that. We bought a butter, not so much for ourselves, but for the house, because we've used butter and we try and replace what we use. We bought a bag of rice, again, because we've been eating rice. We needed to replace. It's only fair. Really, not much else. And I'm actually a bit happy, a bit happier that I'll hopefully be able to control my eating a little bit better. My drinks, I drink almost exclusively diet soda now. I can't help drink soda. I drink a lot of water. You know, water is the main thing that I drink. But I can't help but get sodas. I can't help it. So I've decided I'm going to stop getting regular sodas, and it hasn't been 100%. Like when I go to McDonald's, I get a Coke. When I go out to eat, like at Serpico's, like I do with my wife, I got a Coke, not diet. But at home now, which is the biggest place where I offend drinking soda. If you buy me a 12-pack of soda, it'll be gone in 3 to 4 days. And if you buy me a 24-pack, just double it. You know, just double how quickly it'll disappear. So now, when I do have sodas, I only have diet, at least at home, and I'm hoping to make that no matter where I go. So it helps to change. I would like to actually start trying to go no carb, low carb, but considering rice, that might be impossible. But if I can at least keep it low, if I can portion the rice down to something a little bit more reasonable, then maybe, just maybe, I can start dropping a little bit of weight. I've considered joining the gym again. I want to still join the gym that's down in Pukalani, but I have to still wait for a little while, because I would really like a cell phone at this point, and I'm going to get one. It's just a matter of time. I think... Oh no, we've still got time. I think we have time. Ooh. Ooh, actually, that's long, winding. No. No. Over the grass. My apologies, but this has to be our rest stop. If we try and go to the next rest stop, I have my doubts on making it. And actually, I should back up, but that's okay. We got a small trailer. We can just bang it in right over here. No problem. See, look at that. More rain. I don't have the rain setting set that high. Okay. But anyways, a little bit of an extended video today, which is fair considering how many short videos I've had recently. So a little bit of extended video today. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Like I said, hopefully I will continue over the weekend, but time will tell. I tend to be forgetful or particularly lazy on the weekends, but we'll see. I should be able to do it. But until then, folks, this is going to be one big bugger. I'm going to be signing out. I'll see you then.